Welcome back to another episode of iconic fatherhood scenes on screen. Alright, so I'm going to be delving into A Bronx Tale, which is a classic from 1993 featuring Robert De Niro, the legend, the one and only. So this has a strong fatherhood theme within this film, and it's been years since I watched this. Years. So it'll be good to sort of re-react to this particular scene. And yeah, without any further ado, let's go straight into this one.
Look what I got. Some peaches for free.
What's this?
What, Dad?
Where'd you get
The
this?
money.
Mother found this behind your drawer.
It's money that I've been saving, Dad.
$600 you've been saving? What'd you become, a brain surgeon overnight, son?
Tell your father where you got the money.
Straight away off the bat, life lesson here. The son is obviously doing something unsavory. And yeah. And let's find out where he gets the money
Dad
from.
works for it.
Doing what?
Things.
Things? What do you mean, things? What things?
All things, no things.
Hey, don't lie to me. Just tell me the truth and I won't get upset.
You promise?
I'm your father. Would I say it if I didn't mean it?
Shout out to the Promise Gang, to all the dads that have made this similar type of promise and with no intentions of keeping it. Promise not to get angry. I can't promise that, but just to get the truth out, I think we all have nine times out of 10, most dads will make that promise just so they get the truth. And then depending on what version of the truth we get, will depend on whether we keep that promise or not.
I worked the crap games and the guys gave me tips.
Crap games.
What crap games? What crap games? What tips? What crap games?
I told you I wasn't going to get upset, Dad.
I lied. Now tell me
Of course he
everything.
lied.
I told you I worked for Sonny and he gave me tips.
I knew it.
Weren't you told 1,000 times not to go near that bar?
But Ma, I worked for it.
Well, what do you mean you work for it? You're not supposed to be in that
I'm
bar.
taking this money back. I'm bringing it right back down to the bar.
Well, let's just think about this for a minute.
What do you mean think about? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, we could use the money. It's like here to do something, Bear. We could use it, Bear. We already have it.
Point. You know where this money comes from. I don't want him to have that kind of
Just
money.
listen to...
Okay, so it's quite interesting. Straight away you can see that the dad is a man of integrity and he wants to teach his son a lesson, and he lives within a certain type of code. And yeah, when the family is struggling, and clearly the mother here has other ideas of that money. She agrees with the dad in terms of scolding the son from how he got it in the first place, but in terms of the money's already here, you're going to take it back, and we need that. She's not involved in all of that, you know. And like in my line of work, when I've worked with young people, I've seen this situation play out before, where a young man might be involved in some criminal activity on the streets, and how he earned his money is not exactly legit, and the parents have known but somehow approve of it because it suits their needs, you know. And there's all of a sudden a sense of responsibility for that young man to now help in providing for the house, whether it's legal or illegal.
Listen to me for a minute. Let's just think about this.
That's it. Come on.
Wait a minute.
No.
Listen to me. Lorenzo, please, why do you gotta go down like this? Calm down. Lorenzo, please. I can't believe this.
She's still at it.
Lorenzo, please.
He's not trying to hear it. The man on a mission. And you know what I like? I like the fact that he's taking his son with him, so he can hear the conversation and know exactly why he doesn't approve.
Sonny around?
Yeah, I think he's in the back.
We can't accept that.
I didn't give it to you. I gave it to your son. He worked for you.
That's right, my son. And I don't want
His
my son
son.
involved in what goes on here.
Yeah,
Involved
tell
in
him.
what? What are you talking about?
Please, I'm not a stupid man, okay? Please, I'm not stupid. You know what I'm talking about. Just stay away from my son, okay?
Simple.
Hey.
Simple.
You stay right over here. See, why don't you go outside? I want to talk to your father.
I'll speak to my own son. Rojo, wait outside.
First of all, I respect you, Lorenzo. You're a stand-up guy. We're from the same neighborhood. But don't ever talk to me like that again. I tell your son to go to school, to go to
You don't
college.
understand. It's not what you say. It's what he sees. It's the clothes, it's the cars, it's the money, it's everything.
Okay, that's interesting. Actions speak louder than words, and a lot of people are out here preaching. A lot of fathers, a lot of mentors, a lot of people are saying the right things, but they're living in a different way, you know. And people in general, especially young people, will pick up on what you're actually doing, you know, rather than what you're saying. So for him to be telling the young man to stay in school or all of these other things, it's a bit redundant, to be fair. You know, and just like the dad says, and he's able to point it out, you know, it's the lifestyle that you're living and it's how you are living that makes a difference, you know. And I remember when I was in youth work, some of the people that I went to school with who were my age, who were living a specific lifestyle, were giving some of the young people that I was working with at that time the opposite message to what I was telling them, because I was telling them and I was selling a long-term dream in terms of get your qualifications or find a trade or start a business, do something along those lines. Whereas there's no instant gratification in that path, but at least it's clean. At least you can sleep at night. At least no one's breaking into your house at night in regards to whether that's your enemy or whether that's the police, you know. But the quick instant gratification that guys like these, the opportunities that they present it lures young people in for them to make the wrong decisions. So, hence why we have fathers like this who's willing to come to a man who's got a lot of juice, clearly, and stand up to him for the sake of his son, for the future of his son. So again, I commend Robert De Niro's character in this film, Lorenzo, for speaking out.
He tried to throw away his baseball cards the other day because he said Mickey Mantle would never pay my rent.
He said that to you? I don't believe this kid.
That's not funny. Not funny when your 9-year-old kid has a bigger bank account than you do.
9 years.
I offered you a job, but you said no to me.
That's right, and I say no now. Just leave my son alone.
Exactly. You know, so the father's already leading by example because the opportunity has been presented to him and he doesn't want to live in that particular way. And so why would he now want that for his son? He wouldn't. So just simple. Just leave my son alone. You've got all your cronies around you and just do what you're doing. Just leave my son alone. That is it.
Alone, please.
Hey, don't you see how I treat that kid? I treat that kid like he's my son.
He ain't your son. He's
Exactly.
my son.
He's what?
He's my son.
Hey, get the fuck out of here.
I'm not afraid of you.
Well, you should be.
I know who you are, Sonny. I know what you're capable of, and I would never step out of line. You could ask anybody in this neighborhood who knows me. But this time you're wrong. You don't fool with a man's family. This is my son, not yours.
What are you gonna do, fight
You
me?
stay away from my
Get
son.
out of here
Simple.
before I give you a fucking slap.
You just stay away from my son.
Go ahead.
I don't care.
I'm not afraid of you right now. I'm not afraid of you because my son's future's on the line. So there's nothing you can do to me right now. I'm not afraid of you. So I love the fact that he's willing to come and stand up for his son's future right there, because that's important.
I know who you are. You stay away from my son.
out of here.
Where's my money, Dad?
I left it in there.
What? How could you do that, Dad? It was my money.
That's bad money. I don't want you to have that money.
Dad, I earned that money.
I said I want you to stay away from him.
Dad, please listen to me.
I said you stay away from him.
Dad, listen to me.
Did you hear what I said? You stay away from him.
The lesson. It's a life lesson that he's trying to teach his son. But he's already, you can already see with his attitude, it's already been embedded in him through just a short period that he's been around those particular guys, you know. And he's desperate. Lorenzo's desperate for his son not to get mixed up into that lifestyle.
Sonny was right. The working man is a sucker, Dad. He's a sucker.
He's wrong. It don't take much strength.
The working man is a sucker. So downplaying the people that have a 9-to-5 job, downplaying the people that go out and grind for their money, that's part of the message that's being given to this young man from a young age, all right? Which is ultimately looking down on it at his own father's input in regards to how he earns his money.
Strength to pull a trigger, but try and get up every morning, day after day, and work for a living. Let's see him try that. Then we'll see who's the real tough guy. The working man is the tough guy. Your father's the tough guy.
Tell him. Tell him. So I find this particular part of the scene very interesting because he's trying to lay it out to him that anyone can go and do what they are doing. But it takes a special kind of man, a hard-working man, to get up day in, day out to do what he needs to do for his family, even if the rewards are not great. But he grinds every single day to try and provide. All right, and that's the lesson that he's trying to teach his son in that moment. Which is a great lesson. And if I'm taking it back to the other scene where he spoke about it's not just what you say, it's what you do. For me, there's a double lesson here. And how I want to explain it is the family's clearly struggling. He's working hard, maybe not earning enough. But again, he can send a different type of message to his son. If he's content with his life, then he shouldn't complain about the amount of money that he has, and you should just end up just living your life. But if he's not content, then it goes back to that action that he was talking about. It's not just what you say, all right? Because right now you're telling me that the working man is a tough guy, all right? But the working man clearly is not seeping the rewards of all his hard work. So what he can do now, in terms of if we're now talking about positive behavior, to change your situation, especially if you don't want your son to go down that particular route, but at the same time you don't want him to end up like you in terms of working these type of menial jobs for not much reward. What are you doing? What's the father doing to change his situation? Because right now what he's seeing the struggle, and it's either you're caving into that struggle or not. And so that, when I say caving in, that could be just by complaining, moaning about your current financial situations, having to, to take on more jobs, more work. And he's seeing that. And so he feels like, you know what, let me go outside and earn some easy money and I can help you. You don't have to work this hard anymore. So if he can level up himself by maybe qualifications, maybe starting a business, doing something different, that shows fight rather than just saying it, that shows fight to the son that yes, we're struggling, but here is the plan for the future. This is what I'm doing. So that also sends a different message to the son, as opposed to just, yeah, I'm just working hard, but it's not leading anywhere. Because if that's all you're showing him, then the other side might find it easier to try and convince your son to live the lifestyle that they are living, because he's seen what you're doing and that doesn't look like any fun. But if you're showing him hope that there is a way for the working man who's hardworking to still up the levels, to move beyond the poverty that they're currently in. And I think that also sends another powerful message that that fathers need to think about as well. So yeah,
Guys.
Everybody loves him, just like everybody loves you on the bus. It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same. People don't love him. They fear him. There's a difference.
I understand, Dad.
You will when you get older.
he says, I don't understand. You're too young to understand. Sometimes those lessons, we don't get them. We don't understand them straight away. It might take some time to sink in. All right. Sometimes we learn many lessons years beyond the incident, and I think it might take some time for this young man to understand what's just happened here today.
Sorry I hit you.
Okay. I like that. I'm sorry I hit you. So again, this is another conversation in regards to discipline. All right. So many fathers will mirror the discipline that they had from their fathers. And sometimes it can be disproportionate towards whatever the crime is. A young person, a child might just drop a glass accidentally, but you've had a bad day at work, and so bring out the belt, you bring out the stick, you do whatever it takes to release your anger onto your child disproportionately. That's how some people want to parent. And others might just go through conversation to try and get the children to understand what they did wrong, and so on and so forth. But what I like that he did here was apologize, because many fathers who have used disproportionate force and know that they're in the wrong will never admit that they're wrong for what they did. and then that's wrong within itself. And it takes a big man, you know, to humble himself even to their child and apologize and say, you know what, I was wrong too. That's just my philosophy and ideology around that. So when I'm wrong, I don't mind saying that I'm wrong, you know, and it's okay, because you're trying to teach them to be accountable for their actions. And I think it's also important, again, that we do as we say. Yeah. Watch me walk away with my son. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one there. So this was A Bronx Tale. If you haven't seen it, it's a classic, 1993. Go and check it out. Yeah, it's making me want to watch the whole film again. So I think once I have some time, I'm definitely gonna delve into watching that again. So yeah, that's me for today. A Bronx Tale, iconic fatherhood scenes. And if you've got any recommendations for me, just let me know. Message in the comment section, and then we'll try and get to all of them. But I've got a lot more in store for you guys. So please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Stories by Mecca. Take care.